all, welcome to the Universal Group of Institution Bangalore. Today the area of discussion for us is Africa can make India's critical mineral mission shine. Recently we have seen that our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi has discussed about critical mineral mission and how Africa is going to play a very vital role in this. Today we are going to discuss on that. Moving forward, if we talk about the topic of importance for prelims and mains, then we will know that Africa, critical minerals, African continental free trade areas, Africa Union, India's 2023 G20 presidencies. These are your topics which are very vital for prelims. And when it comes to mains, significance of Africa for India is a sure shot domain of question which can be asked in mains. Going forward, we see that Africa, often termed as the land of future, is vital for India's strategic and economic interest, especially in securing critical minerals. With 30% of the world's critical mineral reserves, Africa offers India a key opportunity to strengthen its supply chain. However, China's dominance in Africa's mineral sector presents challenge. Yes, China has always acted as a bone of contention when it comes to Indian relation with its neighboring states, be it China or Pakistan or Sri Lanka or Myanmar. By aligning its critical mineral missions with Africa's goal for value addition and sustainable practices, India can build mutually beneficial partnership, supporting Africa's development while safeguarding its own economic security. Now we will be talking about the significance of Africa for India. Economic powerhouse. India-Africa trade reached $98 billion in 2022-23 with $43 million in mining and minerals alone. So now you can see that in mining and minerals alone we are having a trade with Africa of $43 billion. Geopolitical ally. India supports Africa's representation in global bodies and the African Union become a G20 member under India's 2023 presidency. So when India last year presided the G20 meeting, they have supported African Union's admission to G20. Energy security. Africa supplies 15% of India's oil, with countries like Nigeria and Angola as key suppliers. Africa's critical minerals are essential for India's energy transition. So if we talk about Nigeria and Angola, they are the major contributors from Africa, from where we are getting 15% of our total demand of oil. Apart from that, maritime security. Africa's eastern coast is vital for India's security in the Indian Ocean. India has signed defense agreements and conducted joint exercises with African nations. So the eastern coastal region of Africa becomes a contention for security, and India need to highlight and need to talk about such kind of issues very fluently. Diaspora dynamics. A 3 million strong Indian diaspora in Africa strengthens economy and cultural ties. So our Indian population, there are 3 million Indian population. We can see there are almost 3 million Indian population diaspora in Africa. That again strengthens the cultural ties with Africa. Now we will be seeing the role of Africa in India's critical mineral needs. Lithium. Africa's lithium reserves, especially in Zimbabwe, Namibia and Ghana, are crucial for India's electric vehicle ambition. As we all know, India is heading towards renewable energies. So we need to focus more on electric vehicles, and for that we need lithium and we need the support of Africa. Rare earth elements. Africa, including countries like South Africa and Namibia, holds significant untapped rare earth elements potential for high-tech industries. Obviously, this region called Ghana, Namibia and Zimbabwe are popular for such kind of minerals. Platinum group metals. South Africa's vast platinum reserves are critical for hydrogen fuel cells vehicles and catalytic converters. So if we want to give importance to hydrogen fuel vehicles, then the platinum group metals can be found in the region of South Africa, and then the region of Mozambique and Madagascar are famous for graphite. So graphite, a key graphite producers are Madagascar and Mozambique for electric vehicle battery and energy storage system. Apart from this, if we talk about the relations between India and China, then we know that Africa and China trade amounts to total more than $280 billion. So if Africa is having so huge amount of trade, then India also need to step in and increase the trade, bilateral trades with Africa. And when it comes to minerals, we have to necessarily step in. Key areas of friction between India and Africa. There is product perception. Indian products face quality perception issues worsened by incidents like the tainted syrup in Gambia. So there were incidents where we have supplied syrups in Gambia and there was always perception that the quality which they have got from India was not that good. Diplomatic imbalance. India's focus on East and South Africa leaves the western part of Africa under-engaged. So if we are just looking to the eastern and southern part of Africa, which is mineral rich, then the western part of the Africa is left alone without much engagement. So India needs to again step in and work for it. When we talk about Somalian pirates in the Gulf of Aden region, we know that the Somalian pirates are making security concern in the eastern part of Africa, and which can become a security issue in the Indian Ocean too. Project delays. India's infrastructure project in Africa, such as the Gravitex project in Kenya, has faced delays. So we need to work on the delay part as well. The Gravitex project in Kenya has faced a lot of delays, because of which a negative impact has been there on the relationship. Resource rivalry. India competes with China for African resources, sometimes losing bids, as seen in the Angola's oil assets in 2006. So in 2006, Angola's oil asset, India has lost the bid to China, and China could secure the bid with African nations. Measures to enhance India-Africa relationship. Trade agreements. Negotiate economic partnership, reduce tariff on African goods, and gain access for Indian pharmaceutical and IT services. We all know that our Indian IT and pharmaceutical industry is booming these days. And if we want to make it rise further, then we have to have proper trade engagements, and we need to get a market also for our pharmaceutical industries in Africa. Skill development. Expand programs like ITEC, the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program. Launch digital skill initiatives. So such kind of initiatives can really help the population and the diaspora of Africa. Infrastructure. Create an India-Africa Infrastructure Commission to oversee projects with clear timelines. Yes, we need to work on clear timelines to have a good picture of Indian diplomacy on African nations. Agricultural innovation. Develop an India-Africa Agricultural Innovation Corridor. Establish model farms and launch digital farmer app to support African farmers. As we know, the Indian farmers have a lot of potential. Similarly, African farmers have a lot of potential and talent too. And their land is also fertile. So we need to support such kind of agricultural innovation, where we create digital farmer apps and we create such innovation corridor where the support need to be given to African farmers. At last, we will be concluding by giving a mains question to you all. The question is, the most visible aspect of India's cooperation with the Global South is its engagement with Africa. So this will be your answer, which you need to write and practice for mains examination. That's all for now. Stay tuned with us.